So I know there may be a lot of you watching this video who are currently struggling with your day trading. You may be losing money inside of the markets. And after 7 years of day trading and being inside of the markets and finding success in the markets and ultimately making day trading a living for myself, I decided it is a perfect time for me to make this video, especially that the new year is coming to approach and the current year is coming to an end. So in this video today, I'm going to be giving you guys kind of a full guide on how you can start day trading in 2024, or maybe for those of you guys who are already day trading, what implementations you could take off of this video and the value off of this video that you can implement into your own day trading to help you guys get closer to your goals and try and find success in the markets as much as you possibly can. One thing that I decided to do, again, and this is something that I've talked about in previous videos, is I want to provide as much value as I possibly can to you guys because I want to see you guys ultimately succeed and thrive. I have tons of students of mine who are making money in the markets, and there's no better satisfaction than helping others. So I decided to create a mini course for you guys. It is completely for free. You can go to the link in the description where you guys can get access to this mini course where you guys can gain as much value from that mini course as possible. Again, it is completely for free. I just want to help you guys out as much as I possibly can so you guys can go get access to it, you guys can learn from it, and ultimately hopefully implement a lot of the things that we talk about, not just in today's video but in the little free mini course as well into your trading. And let me know how that video or that mini course has helped you in your trading. I love reading your guys' DMs, all of the positive feedback that I always get on how I'm impacting your trading in a very positive way. Without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the very first thing I actually wanted to discuss with you guys is your trading office and your trading setup, which is going to bring us to our very first topic. So I don't know how familiar you guys are with my story and how long you guys have been following me for, but I've been trading since I was roughly 18 years old. And just like your average 18-year-old, I lived in my parents' house. Now, when I was living in my mom's house, I had my gaming setup, which ultimately turned into my trading setup inside of my bedroom at my place of comfort. And what I found was I was getting very easily distracted with a lot of the games that I had installed on my PC, along with YouTube and everything else. And I knew that if I wanted to take my trading to the next level, I needed to start treating it as a business. So for me personally, I had ended up turning one of my mom's pantries from her kitchen, basically the pantry of the kitchen, into my own personal office. I took out all the shelves, I took out all the food. My mom ended up supporting me through that, and I actually ended up building my very first office inside of that little pantry. Ultimately, it was probably one of the best decisions that I ended up making in terms of my trading career, because I knew when I walked in that pantry door that was going to be my office and there was going to be no distractions, which compared completely differently to my bedroom setup. Because my bedroom setup, I walked in, it's kind of like, okay, it's my bedroom, I can lay down on my bed, I can watch YouTube on the computer. It was a completely different environment versus when I walked into that pantry. It really had a completely different vibe towards it, because I walked into that office and I was like, okay, well, I need to lock in, there's goals that I need to achieve, and this is what this room is for. And that leads me to another topic. I had a fresh computer. I deleted everything off of that computer, and that computer was solely focused on just trading and all of the trading applications and programs. There was nothing else other than that. So again, I ended up taking the action, and this is why it's so important for you to guys have a clean, perfect setup. Now, I may understand that a lot of you guys may not be able to have like your own room dedicated in your house for an office, but definitely there needs to be some form of a space with a computer that is solely just trading focused and trading related, nothing else. Because again, you have to treat trading like a business, and that was the first step for me to treat trading like a business. And everyone's gonna have a very different setting on where they're gonna set up their office. That doesn't matter. Ultimately, what matters is when you sit down on that chair and you sit down at that desk, you need to understand that this time is only for trading, and that there can really be no distractions. Whether you're trading live, whether you're trading demo, whether you're still studying, it doesn't matter. When you sit down at that desk, your trading office is your trading office, and there can be nothing that actually distracts you. Now, one thing I also wanted to talk about in terms of a trading office was just like trading is a business, and you have your trading office, you need your trading tools. I like to use a lot of my time, and I like to spend a lot of my charting and analysis on TradingView. Now, you can actually execute on TradingView and take trades directly on TradingView with certain brokerages. Like a lot of you guys know, I've also started trading futures recently, which if you go back to one of the previous breakdowns that I did, and especially if you guys are on the free Telegram, which by the way, there's a link in the description to the free Telegram as well, where I provide endless content in there as well. I actually posted a trade breakdown of, I believe what was a $22,000 or $23,000 trading day on TradeStation, which is a brokerage that I use for futures, that you can link directly on TradingView and actually execute your trades on TradingView while also doing your chart analysis. There's tons of different charting tools out there. You can also use MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5, you have CTrader, you have NinjaTrader. There's so many different endless options, but for me personally, the main programs and softwares I use is TradingView, is TradeZilla. TradeZilla is basically where I keep and I break down my trading journal. It is one of the most effective trading journals out there right now in terms of data, because you need to be able to analyze your own data to see where your weak points are and if you're profitable or not, of course. And if you're not profitable, understand why you're not profitable, and TradeZilla will help you identify a lot of the bad habits that you have inside of your trading, and will let you know, basically, not directly, but also will show you where your weak points are in your trading and where you need to improve. Now, of course, like, there's a lot of analysis that goes behind going over your own performance so you can actually improve and become profitable, but TradeZilla is the main trading software that I use to be able to actually analyze my trades and be able to analyze all of the data that I'm able to read off of my trading. Then of course, we also have MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5. Now MetaTrader 4, MetaTrader 5 is going to be another execution platform, and it's going to be another charting platform that I personally use as well, which is connected directly to the brokerage that I use. So MetaTrader 5 is also where I execute, and those are going to be my 3 main trading platforms. Now there's many different trading journals that you can actually go look up out there. You could literally look it up online, trading journal for whatever I'm trading here, if it's futures, cryptos, Forex, whatever the case might be. It's just look it up. Again, I'm here to recommend you guys what I personally use, which is going to be TradingView, TradeZilla, then MetaTrader 5. Those are going to be the main softwares that I use for my trading. Then of course, we also have other things that we can get into, such as fundamental analysis, fundamental research, which you can use forexfactory.com to get the economic data of the day. But me personally, I like to use Trading Economics to get the economic data of the day as well. And that is going to sum up our trading office and the trading tools that we use and softwares that we use for our trading business. Now that you already have your office set up, I wanted to talk about the next thing getting into day trading into 2024, which is going to be understanding the basics of the markets. Now, keep in mind, there are a lot of different markets that you actually can trade nowadays. You can trade stocks, you can trade cryptos, you can trade Forex, you can trade indices, futures, commodities, and the list almost kind of goes on. So you need to familiarize yourself with these different types of markets and try and find a market that suits you best. Not even just trying to find a market that suits you best and what different things interest you inside of these markets. Is again, like, you have stocks, then you have options. And then inside of those options, again, you can also trade stocks as well. You can trade futures as well. And then you can also trade cryptos. So you really have to just figure out what type of market you actually want to trade. Not just figuring out what type of market you want to trade. You have to try and figure out as well what times these markets are open and what times these markets have the most volume, because you want to trade during times where there's more volume in the markets. When there's more volume in the markets, you're only going to have higher probability trades. And again, volume does actually equate to making money inside of the markets. There's a lot of times where I see a lot of different traders make this complete beginner mistake of just trading like the futures market, which mainly moves during the New York session or the New York Stock Exchange open at 9:30. That's when the market actually opens up. For the futures market, trading it overnight, while there, yes, maybe some volume, again, it's always going to be preferred that you actually trade during the appropriate time for that specific market. Then you have other traders who trade crypto on the weekends. Ultimately, again, it's completely up to you what markets you actually want to trade. Again, this is just all understanding the basics. You want to dive deep into each one of these markets and figuring out which market would suit your personal needs. Now, of course, the next thing that I actually wanted to discuss is technical analysis. There's going to be a lot of different terms on technical analysis. You have technical analysis and then you have fundamental analysis. So you want to always research technical and fundamental analysis. Again, I'm going to be broadly talking about, or at least talking about these concepts a little bit more in depth in the free course, so you guys can just go watch that there. Now, when I talk about technical analysis, there's so many different trading strategies out there, but ultimately you want to do your research on candlesticks. That is the preferred method that I actually use to trade and do my technical analysis and perform my technical analysis, is through a candlestick chart. There's a lot of different charts that you could use out there. I know some people use line charts, which I personally wouldn't recommend, because our goal, especially when performing technical analysis, is to try and gain as much data as possible to really look for high probability setups on a day-to-day basis. You also have other traders that I know that are doing very well that actually look at order flow and actually look at footprint charts. But again, I'm throwing out all of these different concepts and ideas to you guys so you guys can go forward and do your own research and find what suits you best. Now, when I talk about technical analysis, immediately what might pop up into your head may be indicators. It may also be price action. It may also be supply and demand, or some other traders. I know like there's so many different concepts out there nowadays, such as like order blocks and things along those lines, which I personally don't use. But again, another familiar concept that you want to actually do your research on is technical analysis. Now, one thing I do actually want to discuss with you is that technical analysis is a skill that can actually be developed, and you can become really good at performing technical analysis day in and day out if you practice a lot. Not just practice a lot, if you have a lot of experience in the markets as well. Obviously, somebody who has a 10-year trading history versus somebody who has a 3-month trading history is going to be way better at performing technical analysis than the individual who has a 3-month trading history. There's also good habits and bad habits in performing technical analysis, so you always want to pick very carefully what you're going to be focusing on when it does come to technical analysis itself. Now, me personally, I wouldn't recommend just starting to bombard your charts with a bunch of indicators to help you perform your technical analysis, as indicators are very laggy. I would just mainly focus on price action and trading price action and focusing your main technical analysis over price action. And now, of course, moving on to the next topic, which is probably the biggest topic in trading, is going to be risk management. There's going to be a ton of different traders out there who are going to tell you how to risk or how to manage your money inside of the markets very differently. Ultimately, it's going to be up to you on how you want to manage your money in the markets. So there's going to be a few key terms that I want you guys to understand about risk management that is ultimately going to help you out in the long term, which the first one is going to be probabilities. The second one is going to be risk reward. The third one is going to be position sizing. These three combined are ultimately what's going to determine if you're going to be a profitable trader in the long term or if you're going to be a losing trader in the long term. So I want you guys to keep those three topics and those key three topics in mind when moving forward with your trading journey. Again, a lot of this will be discussed a little bit more in depth in the free online course for you guys. Now, another thing that I actually wanted to discuss with you guys as well is just like any business will have their business plan on how they're going to grow their business. You need to have a trading plan on how you're going to grow your trading business. Inside of your trading plan will include what assets you trade, your trading strategies, which essentially will be your playbook. So your playbook will be included in your trading plan. What times you're going to be trading, how much money is going to be in your account. Are you going to be trading during days of economic data? Are you going to be avoiding trading days of economic data? What type of position sizing and risk management you're going to have, what type of risk to rewards you're going to be aiming for. Like, these are all different concepts that are going to be listed off in your trading plan. But to keep it super simple for you guys, different things that you can have inside of your trading plan, of course, are going to be the instruments that you're going to be trading. And what I mean by instruments is, are you going to be trading currency pairs? Are you going to be trading stocks? Are you going to be trading cryptos? Are you going to be trading options? Then you're going to have your trading times. What times are you going to be doing your post-market analysis? What times are you going to be doing your pre-market analysis? And what times are you going to be actively trading? And you need to be able to follow that routine to a T. And then, of course, you also want to list off how much capital you're going to start off your trading journey with. At what point do you need to stop trading when you actually hit a drawdown, and go over all of your trades to see if you're making an error or this is normal drawdown, a part of your trading system. And of course, you want to have your playbook with your trading strategies that of course have a positive expectancy in the long run. And those are going to be different things that you can actually include in your trading journal. Now, when it comes to your trading journal and your trading plan, I'm going to go a lot more in depth on building your own playbook inside of the mini course, which is something that I do want to emphasize for you guys as well. Like, a lot of these topics I'm going to be talking about in this video is going to be very broad, and I'm going to go a lot more in depth when it comes to like building out your own playbook, building out your own trading plan inside of the free mini course, so you can get a lot more information off of the topics that I'm discussing today in the free mini course. So the next topic I wanted to discuss when it comes to understanding the basics is, for you to actually even place positions live and actually be able to trade live, you need to have an account with a brokerage where you're going to deposit your funds into and actually be able to execute these positions. There's a lot of different brokerages, and depending on what type of brokerage or what type of instruments you're going to be trading will determine what type of brokerage you should actually go for. Again, there's hundreds of different brokerages out there that you guys could do your own research on. Of course, I will have the links in the description of the brokerages that I personally use when it comes to like futures, forex, and then indices, which is the main instruments that I actually trade, especially now getting back into gold. Now, for those of you guys that may not have a lot of trading capital to your name, you guys can also use prop firms to your advantage as much as possible. But to be honest, I wouldn't recommend you guys use prop firms until you've already reached a state of consistent profitability for at least 3 months. Then you can go ahead and take advantage of prop firms as much as possible, which of course I will list one down in the description for you guys as well. And then last but not least, when it comes to understanding the basics, One thing I've learned about trading is that education never truly stops, and you need to continuously learn not just about the markets you're trading, but about yourself and your habits and how you can improve as an individual in your personal life, which will also help you improve as a trader overall. So the one thing that I can tell you guys from the very beginning, that this is a basic this is a basic concept that cannot be overlooked, is always continuing to learn and always be willing to continue to learn when it comes to day trading. The markets are always adapting and evolving, and if you're left behind it, then that is when you're going to start losing money in the markets. You need to be able to adapt to new market conditions, and then that's where you're going to see real growth inside of the markets. Now, everybody, I actually want to talk up on the topic of technical analysis a little bit more in depth with you guys, because if I were to just go back and tell myself like few keywords for me to really focus on technical analysis, I feel like I would have found consistent profitability a lot quicker and would have been able to scale my trading a lot faster if I just focus on these few key topics when it comes to technical analysis. So the first term that I want you guys to research and do your studying on is buying and selling pressure in the markets. I also want you to focus on the bid and the ask. I want you guys to focus on the trends. I want you guys to focus on probabilities. I want you guys to focus on a playbook. Not just that, you could grab some of those concepts. Some of those concepts could technically be psychological and as part of your trading plan. And again, like that would be an example of the playbook, but having a playbook. When it comes to technical analysis, again, what I would also focus on is supply and demand, mainly price action, candlestick analysis, and then order flow. These are all things that I practice on my day trading every single day, and I'm consistently learning and improving on. And those are the key concepts that I want you guys to focus when it actually does come down to technical analysis. Again, I don't really want you guys focusing too much on indicators, especially moving forward into the new year, because again, like indicators are just laggy. Sure, it could be good for you guys to have maybe one indicator such as the VWAP if you guys trade futures, which is volume weighted average price. Backtest that if you would like, or maybe moving averages. But other than that, you guys don't need to have a million indicators on your screen. You really want to just focus on price action, and you really want to just focus on the probabilities of your trading system. Now, another topic that I actually wanted to discuss was the most important topic, which comes down to trading psychology. Now, trading psychology will affect every single trader very differently depending on your skill levels. And one thing that I want you to understand, what really ties down to what's going to be a profitable trader in the long term, is how that trader handles their emotions and how that trader handles their losses. Typically, I know you guys have seen a lot of the quotes online about handling your losses in trading, but ultimately the majority of these quotes are true. If somebody, it's trader to be in specific, cannot handle one of their losses, let's say throughout the entire week they've had a green day followed after another green day, and they have one red loss, one red day, and they come back to the markets and they continue to overtrade and over leverage to try and make back that one loss, completely neglecting all of the profits that they had throughout the week. You can give back that loss very quickly and give back all of your gains in the span of that single week. And that is something that happened to me very early on in my trading career and in the beginning. And this is why we practice using a trading journal and following a trading plan, because not only does it allow us to avoid to make these mistakes, but it allows us to pick up on these bad habits. That was one of the big things that happened to me very early on in my trading career, is typically I would turn an account, I would flip an account, which I don't want to practice or preach flipping accounts, but I would turn, let's just call it $5,000 into $20,000. And I take one loss of $2,500 and I end up giving back all of those gains to the market plus more in the span of one day. And if it wasn't for me journaling and looking at my mistakes and having the discipline to continue to avoid and making that same mistake in the future, I don't know if I would be here where I am today if I didn't learn from my mistakes and if I wasn't able to actually handle my losses. Now, when it comes to trading psychology, there's so many different topics you want to actually think about, but realistically, you actually just want to read as much books as you can and listen to as many podcasts as you can about trading psychology from traders that are actually experienced, so you as a beginner trader can know how to navigate and handle throughout the psychological struggles that the majority of traders actually do face. One book that is super popular that I highly recommend is Market Wizards by Mark Douglas, which of course I'm sure a lot of you different traders have actually been able to probably read this book by now if you're watching this video, or I know a lot of you traders that are just getting into trading, you definitely should read that book, Market Wizards. It is a fantastic book. And the second book that I also wanted to talk about for you to actually read is also going to be Trading in the Zone. Now, when it comes to those two books, those are probably my two favorite books, and then I also like Trading Like a Casino as well. That is also a fantastic book about trading. Those are probably my top 3 trading books that there are out there. here. And one thing that I wanted to discuss, like I had talked about previously before, is that technical analysis is a skill that can be worked on and developed over time. And so is trading itself. You're just going in, you're looking at results, you're looking at numbers and finding different ways to improve. But if you don't constantly work on your trading psychology, your discipline, handling your emotions and handling those losses, you're realistically never going to see growth inside of the markets, which is why I want you guys to focus on those key things when it actually does come to trading. Last but not least, there's always one thing that is going to be super important in the markets, which is going to be continuing your education and never stop learning about the markets. The very first individual who thinks they know it all are going to be the very first individuals to completely fall off. Now, like I was saying previously, I did make a course where it does go a lot more in depth on all of these different topics that you guys can just get access to with the link down in the description. I hope you guys actually did enjoy this video, and I hope this video was of value, especially to those of you guys that are newer traders. I wanted to make a different type of video for you guys because I don't really feel like I make these types of videos a lot for your newer traders. So I hope you guys did actually gain value off this video, and I hope you guys actually do gain value off of the free course I'm gonna have with the link in the description. That course is going to be for all types of traders, newer or already traders that have been trading for the last few months, or maybe even the last few years, just to help you guys. Again, I'm trying to provide as much value as you guys moving into the new year. I'm super excited for the new year. I hope you guys get ready to kill it, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.